Hey guys, what's up? Once again, it is MP4Podcast.com, and I know there's been lots of rumors going around about, the Xbox One, the PlayStation 4, which console's more powerful. And let me just say this. It's best just to wait until you see what the launch lineup looks like. Does Battlefield look better on Xbox One? Does it look better on PlayStation 4? Does Call of Duty look better on the PlayStation 4 or the Xbox One? And then maybe you'll be able to get an idea of which console is more powerful. But as of right now, we really just don't know. However, the most powerful console, to tell you the truth, that's not really the most important thing. The most important thing when designing a video game console is it easy to program for? Well, so that's something that Sony had to learn the hard way. I can't even say that, because the PlayStation 4 with the Cell architecture was hard to program for. And now we're learning about another rumor coming out from some place. I'll leave a link in the description box, that the Xbox One, the CPU that they're using has a GPU in there. So the Xbox One will have two GPUs. There's the dedicated one, and then there's the one that's in the CPU. This is technology that AMD has developed back in 2009. Maybe this is something that Microsoft decided to go with, try to get a little extra bang for the buck. Maybe the Xbox One is more powerful than the PlayStation 4. However, but does this make the Xbox One more complicated to program for? I really don't know. I don't even know how to program my name, MP4Podcast.com. I mean, I know how to spell it, but I don't know how to program it. So, just because maybe the Xbox One, from what we're hearing now, may be more powerful than the PlayStation 4, maybe it's more complicated to program for. There's more like, you can't just send all the data to one GPU. You have to send part of it to GPU 1 and then send the other one over to the GPU 2. And that can probably be a little confusing for some programmers. And when you're looking at lines and lines of code, it does get confusing. Again, like I said, this is just a rumor. Now, rumors are going around that the PlayStation 4 is actually really easy to program for. And what do we know about the PlayStation 4? It's basically just a PC. Same thing with the Xbox One. Even though the Xbox One does seem to be a little bit tweaked around to be a little bit different than just a PC in the box. They have that ES RAM or whatever you call it, supposed to speed up the data for the GPU. It's 32 megs, and that's like a buffer. So that's, programmers are going to have to take that into consideration when they're programming it. You know how some of these third parties are, they're like, it's more programming, time. You have to think about it. Every day that the project goes on longer, that's somebody they have to pay an extra $200 for, or $100, depending on these programmers. So what I say about this is, hold off until the launch. Maybe this is a great thing about the Xbox One. Maybe this extra GPU, if it is true, is going to make the Xbox One shine. Maybe, if it is true, we don't know, maybe it's going to make the Xbox One not that great to program for. Because if there are two GPUs and you have the main core GPU, and that's a little bit, not the best GPU in the world, but then Microsoft says, well, you can also tap into this one over here. People aren't going to use it. The Sega Saturn was actually more powerful than the PlayStation 1. It had two CPUs, but it had like one cache of RAM, half a cache of RAM. It was hard to program for. The PlayStation 2 was very hard to program for, but they actually got the market share. But that console was so hard to program for. When I look at the PlayStation 2 games, there's only a few games that really shine and say graphics. It's God of War 1 and 2, Metal Gear 3, Zone of Enders, maybe Xenogear, not Xeno, I can't remember. There was a Xeno series. I kind of like the artistic style, even though I don't think it really pushes the hardware of the PS2. But you can see where I'm going with this. If the Xbox One does get hard to program for down the road, you know, they have to tap into all these other parts of the hardware, it may start to show its age. Where the PlayStation 4, if the PlayStation 4 is easy to program for, it'll be easier to tap into that hardware, because the GPU, from what we understand, I mean, don't forget, we haven't had these consoles in our homes, and there will be companies that will disassemble these consoles, and they actually, I forget the name of the company, but they disassemble it, and then they sell that information to other competitors. Like Apple will buy the data on an Xbox One. How much is this CPU, this RAM? And they'll give a breakdown of how much, you know, this unit costs. And Sony will buy the you know, the blueprints for the Xbox. Microsoft will buy it from this company for the, you know, when they tear down the PS4, and so on. But we're just going to have to wait and see. But anyway, guys, let me know what you guys think. Do you think about it? It's a good idea to hold off on the Xbox One and the PlayStation 4 until after launch? Because I do want to see side-by-side comparisons of Battlefield 4 and Call of Duty, because of course, Assassin's Creed Black Flag, because those are the three games we do know that are going to be on both consoles. There may be some other games, Watch Dogs, of course, and we can kind of maybe get a little bit of an idea of what system is better. And I do want to say this. I do like my PlayStation 3 a lot, and I do like Injustice, and I do like the PlayStation 3 a lot. But however, there are multiplats on the PlayStation 3 that did not get ported that well. So if the PlayStation 3 becomes the system where they program first for it and then port to Xbox One, you know, PlayStation is going to have it pretty much one mainly, maybe, or maybe Xbox, if they are the system where they start to develop games for, and then they get ported to PlayStation 4 and so on. But I'm hoping this generation, since the hardware is somewhat similar, it's not exactly similar. Their x86 architecture, I mean, you do have the Windows OS, and I think PlayStation is using a form of Linux. They are close enough, hopefully, that we can get good ports. So if something's made for PlayStation, it gets ported, good for Xbox. If something's made for Xbox, it gets ported to PlayStation 4 really good. Because I've heard, I was watching Angry Video Game Nerd, I think they did a review of the Transformer game, and the PlayStation 3 crashed on them. I mean, I've had games on Xbox crash. You know, there was the Red Ring of Death on one of those consoles I was getting like a couple weeks later, so that was another story. But anyway, guys, let me know what you guys think. I'll be leaving the links in the description box of this video. You guys want to read a little bit more on it. Take care.
Time for the grand finale.